At the age of 19, when I started studying the Quran, seriously when I started studying the Quran, I felt that I was cheated for 19 years. I've been Muslim my whole life. How come I don't know anything about the Quran? How come my school didn't teach me? How come my parents didn't know anything themselves? Why didn't they get that education? Why didn't my neighbors ever know? We are 1/5 of the world's population. These people, so many non-Muslims, know more about the Quran than we do. How is that possible? How is that possible? How did I as a Muslim have the same opinion about the Quran as non-Muslims have? The non-Muslims say that it's harsh. The non-Muslims say that it's irrelevant. Why did I have those same opinions? The non-Muslims are not impressed. How come I had the same opinion? Something has to change. We have to cultivate. We have to provide this knowledge now to people. Allah says, Ud'u. Let's begin the ayah. Now we begin the ayah. Ud'u. Invite. Do you invite somebody you are angry with? Can you invite somebody to your house you're angry at them? Hey, come to my house for dinner. You don't do that. When you invite someone, it is an act of friendship. So from the very word da'wah, from the very word ud'u, if you are not friendly, you shouldn't be doing da'wah. If you have an angry personality, why don't you just go memorize Quran or something? Let somebody else do da'wah. By the way, if somebody is giving an angry khutbah and you say, why are you giving it? Brother, akhi, I'm trying to do da'wah. Like, that's not how you do da'wah. You don't scare people to death and then invite them. This is not invitation. This is get lost and get out of here and never come back. Ud'u ila sabili rabbik means invite to the path of your Rabb. Everybody knows what a path is, yes? Now, have you ever invited anybody to a path? That doesn't make sense. You don't invite to a road, you invite to a destination. But Allah is telling us that you have to invite people to a what? A road. A sabil, a path is a road. I hope I can explain this to you in ways you will remember, because this is one of the most powerful truths of Islam that is hidden. People don't know. People don't know. If Allah is calling people to a path, like a road, are people traveling at the same speed? No. Some people travel fast and some people travel what? Slow. Some people are traveling so slow that you can't even see their progress. It's that slow. It doesn't even show up on the speedometer. It's that slow. But they're still making progress. The problem is, we like everybody to make progress at the same speed. Allah is not calling you to the destination. He just wants you to enjoy the road. And when you are on a road, how do you know if you're on a road? The scenery around you is changing, yes or no? And you're making progress. All Allah wants from you is what? Progress. All Allah wants from you is progress. He does not want perfection from you. That's what people want from you. That's not what Allah wants from you. Allah knows what He created. He did not ask people to become perfect. He asked people to make progress. That's all He asked. Allah makes our deen easy and beautiful. We make our deen difficult and ugly. We make people feel bad because they're not perfect. We make people feel bad because they're not completely there yet. The Sahaba were the best generation, yes or no? Best generation of all time. Of all time. And these people were willing to die for Islam, yes or no? Okay, Allah gave them ayat about alcohol in 3 stages. These are people that are willing to die for Islam. And Allah said, "La taqrabu," "Ithmuhuma akbaru min naf'ihima." The evil in alcohol is greater than the benefit. The evil is more. Then that wasn't enough. Then later on He said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى حَتَّى تَعْلَمُوا مَا تَقُولُونَ. Don't go near salah while you're drunk. And then finally, one of the last surahs ever revealed, Surah Al-Ma'idah, one of the last surahs ever revealed, He says, رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ. This is evil from the work of the devil. Will you stop or what? In other words, Sahaba, who were the best generation, Allah did not expect them to quit alcohol immediately. If He wanted, He could have given the ayah from the very beginning. Now think about this even further. Alcohol is considered not just haram, it's also considered evil. There's a difference. Pigs are not evil. Pigs are just what? Haram. You don't see a pig and say, astaghfirullah, evil, shaitan. No, it's just a pig. Just don't eat it. Okay, it's a pig, Allah made it. It's not evil. Relax. Okay? But alcohol is not just haram, it is also what? Evil. Which means it was always evil. Which means it was always from the work of the shaitan. In the first year of revelation, it was from the work of shaitan. And in the 23rd year of revelation, it was also the work of shaitan. And even though it was always evil, Allah decided that people haven't made enough progress on the road yet. So they're not ready yet. So I'll give them the ayah when they're a little more ready. The best generation, Allah allowed them time to make progress on the road. And what do? If a drunk guy walked into the masjid today, he's had 2-3 beers, you can smell it from 10 feet away, and I want to pray. What are we going to do with him? We're going to beat him up and kick him out. And once you kick him out, where's he going to go? Back to the bar. He's going to go back to drinking. He came to the house of Allah. He took a step. He took such a big step. And you said, go back, this step is not good enough for us. You're not good enough for us. Allah compared the Quran coming down to water coming down. And when water comes down, the life on the earth grows immediately or grows over time? It grows over time. When the Quran will enter somebody's heart, they will change immediately or change over time? It will change over time. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq changed immediately. But so many Sahaba changed over time. Umar bin al-Khattab, 5 years. It took some time. Abu Sufyan, many more years. It took a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. People only quote the example of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. By the way, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is an extremely amazing example. Even for the Sahaba, he's too high of an example. What about you? People quote the greatest example and make you feel bad. There are so many other Sahaba, hundreds of thousands of them, radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu, that did not transform the same way as Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. They took their time, and Allah is happy with them too. Allah is happy with them too. Call people with wisdom. Let them grow. Let them listen. Let them listen. I don't need to go after and start having debates with the Shia person or the Baha'i person or any other person for that matter. Why? Because my only concern is to get the water to the heart. That's all. The rest, who will do? The rest, Allah will do that. You're not going to do that. Allah will do that. That's up to Allah what He does. That's not up to me. We don't give people a chance. We're too busy arguing with them and debating with them and pushing them further away from Islam. This is not wisdom. This is just not wisdom. Call people to the path of your Rabb using wisdom. Bil hikmah. And then he says, wal maw'izatil hasana. Call people with beautiful, heart-penetrating advice. Give people advice that will go to their heart, that will get inside their heart. Now what does that mean? It could mean a lot of things, but I'm going to keep it brief for you guys. Simple lesson. Sometimes you say things that they are willing to accept, and sometimes you say things that make them more upset and they don't want to listen to you. You have to find a way of saying things that will melt someone's heart, that will get inside their heart. They won't get defensive. Let me give you an example. You know the famous story of Hassan and Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhuma when he saw a man making wudu incorrectly. You remember the story? Right? They were making wudu, he was making wudu incorrectly, so what did they do? They say, hey, you are such an old man. You should know better. Astaghfirullah, you don't even know how to make wudu? You should be ashamed of yourself. Let me show you how to make wudu. Did they do that? No. If they do that, the older gentleman might be very upset. Might get really upset with them. What do they do instead? They just quietly make wudu next to him. And his heart melts. These young boys are taking their time making wudu. I should take my time making wudu. Yes or no? In other words, they used wisdom. And they used al-maw'idha al-hasana. Al-maw'idha al-hasana means you give advice in a way that softens somebody's heart. You don't give advice in a way that hardens somebody's heart. If they are in a mood to argue with you and fight with you, leave them alone. إِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When people get emotional, leave them alone. Don't need to argue. No need to debate.